Well, I'm really excited today to introduce you to Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, um, just an amazing minister who has frequently been referred to as a modern day Renaissance man. Got to say, I love his purple, if you're all seeing that right now. Anyway, Reverend Raymont is a visionary thought leader. With one look at his resume and accomplishments, the reasons becomes very clear. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development and personal transformation and transfiguration, he lives his bliss as a teacher, minister, visual artist, author, speaker, workshop, seminar facilitator, mentor, American Sign Language performing artist, father, grandfather, and more. His mission is to live, move, and be an active member of society who serves to educate and emancipate people and communities to awaken and empower themselves. It's through his service and through the transformative teachings, technologies, and practices of New Thought, these individuals and communities recognize, realize, and materialize their full divine potential. He's authentic, he's compassionate, I can verify that and testify to it. He's transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered. He's an ordained CSL minister and currently serves as the senior minister at the Center for Spiritual Living in Greater Baltimore. So thank you, Reverend Raymont, for being here this morning and getting somebody else at your community so you could be here. So let's give him a beautiful Ahava welcome, Reverend Raymont.
I am ever so honored to be with you, Ahava, and Reverend Sunny and Reverend Rainbow. Thank you for opening up your hearts and your service and your community so that we can all come together and celebrate this thing called infinite oneness, joy, and love. And in that vein, we're talking about releasing and letting go. Now, if I were to give every one of you $1 for every time you heard someone say, release and let go, I release and I let go. Like every time we've heard it or we've said it, we've meditated on it, how much money would we have? Just like let that idea in, because we talk about this a lot. If we're honest, we in the New Thought sphere of community talk about releasing and letting go very often. Why? One of my observations personally in my own life is we talk about it oftentimes from the same paradigm because in many ways we see this concept as something that's challenging, something that's difficult, and dare I say, something that is unnatural. Now breathe for a moment, breathe. Because when I say unnatural, specifically what I'm saying is our culture and our community as a global thing, especially in the West, we train one another from an early age to hold on to money, relationships. Okay, backtrack. So money, we're taught money doesn't grow on trees, and don't spend it frivolously or waste your money. You may need that money for a rainy day. So we hold on to it. We hold on to our relationships because we don't want to lose anyone, right? We don't want to lose a partner, which is where jealousy comes from. We don't want to lose status, which is where envy comes from. So we hoard it. We rat race, dog eat dog. I got to get mine before somebody else gets it. So when we get something, we tend to hoard it. We tend to hold on to it. We tend to obsess over it. And yet, back of all of this, we're already doing the releasing and letting go. We already do it. Now, pause for a second before we go a little bit deeper into that. I need us to agree on a couple of things. Now, if you don't agree, then I need you to lie to me and tell me you agree. Okay, just let's fake it. Okay, no, but seriously. So let's agree. One, do we agree that God is all there is? Whatever you're calling God, God, source, spirit, the force, the universe, the thing itself, whatever it is it all there is? That's one. Two, if it's all there is, then the words that Ernest Holmes spoke when he said, God in me, as me, is me, right? So God isn't just in us, like whipped cream in a donut. God in me, as me, is me. So can we agree that whatever the infinite is, it's an infinite circle whose circumference is nowhere, whose center is everywhere. Therefore, the very center of God must be where each of us is. That's number two. And if God is all there is, and it is showing up in, through, and as these individualized incarnations, then everything that is true about it must be true of us. Meaning, if God is love, then we are love. If God is joy, then we are joy. We are able to express that which it is. And if God is all there is, then back of everything that is physical, tangible, experiential, there must be a divine and spiritual, holy and sacred blueprint, template, design, first cause, whatever words we want to use. But back of all of it, there must be that which God is. So can we agree on those three things? Because in Richer Living, Ernest Holmes says, all of God is available to every person. Pause, breathe that in. Doesn't say some of God is available to some people. All of God is available to every person. Nothing is ever withheld from a sincere seeker of truth. We got that. Nothing is ever withheld from a sincere, committed seeker of truth. The infinite mind, pay attention to this next word, the infinite mind releases all of its ideas into every receptive consciousness. See, oftentimes what we tend to do is we talk about releasing as in get rid of it. Let it go. Don't focus on it. But sometimes the releasing is release more joy into the world, release more love into the world, release more unity into the world, release more awareness of what God is into the world. Allow it to be released within us and then be the very channel and expression of it and allow it to show up in the world. Now, let's breathe and pause for a second. Because where I'm getting ready to go, I'm going to backtrack to that release of let's get rid of it. Because if we're already doing it, we're already masters of release. Now, when I say that, what exactly do I mean? You are asking, I can hear you asking it right now. Think about, once again, God is all there is. It is the back of, the front of, the within and without, the above and below. It is all there is. And it releases. Because if you look at nature, clouds release rain. The seed releases the flower that is going to grow. Everything in nature, the seasons, spring must release to let summer be. Summer must release to let the fall must release and surrender to allow winter to come. Nature, God, does this automatically. Divine wisdom. And it does it in, through, and as us as well. If you are a sports fan, type in what your preferred or right and perfect sport is. Because I would venture to say that whatever the sport is, basketball, the basketball player must release the ball for it to go into the net. The baseball pitcher must release the ball for it to fly. The baseball, the hitter must release the bat because they don't run with the bat around. You have to release first base to go to second. Like every hockey player, everyone is already doing this. And if our system is aligned, our gastrointestinal system is working, then some point in every day, we go to that place, that sacred temple called the restroom. And we release, we eliminate, we let go what is no longer serving us. We already do this every night. Unless we are like really, really tired, we release our clothes in order to shower. Our body Well, for those of us who have hair, our body releases hair. We release dead skin cells. I must release these words through my lungs, through my vocal cords, through my tongue and mouth. We are masters of it already. But the problem is, when it comes to these emotions, when it comes to addiction, when it comes to trauma and drama, that's different. We Tupperware that. We say, well, of course, in the grand scheme of all that God is and nature is, this is already natural. It happens. It is done. And so it is. But when it comes to this, it's like, whoa. Back up. You don't understand. These are my migraines. This is my depression. I have depression. This is my whatever it is. We lay claim over it. And speaking from experience, because I trust and believe, as someone personally who grew up with trauma and drama and addiction in the family, with abuse, molestation, all manner of, if you can name it somewhere in my family, in my experience, I can claim it. I grew up with it. And it took a lot of years for me to recognize, hold on, wait a minute, whoa, pause. I can shift the paradigms of lack, scarcity, fear, stagnation, drama, trauma, depression, loneliness, abandonment, all of this stuff. I can release this. I can change it. I can shift it. I can transmute it in the same way that if I have a piece of paper, I can let it go. Now, the thing is with the paper, suppose this is a bill, right? I got a bill in the mail and it has served its purpose. I've already paid it and done my taxes, and it's 10 years later. Do I still need to keep this for my accountant? More than likely not. So into the recycling bin it goes. But there's a process, and that process involves me first thinking it, feeling it, then doing what I do by moving, meaning I get up, I move to the recycling bin. I don't have to purposely say right hand, fingers, and thumb, do what you do and open. No, listen to me. I said open. I'm letting the paper go. Open. Let it go, right? Soon as I've made up my mind that this no longer serves me, the thought immediately is there, unconscious. Like I don't have to consciously say breathe. God is breathing itself as me. And the moment that I decide, the moment I choose that this no longer serves me, the process is already engaged and it gets let go. But here's the catch. My mother made her transition last Father's Day 2020. Suppose this is no longer a bill and this is a letter that my mother wrote to me before her transition. Am I just as readily willing to surrender this to the recycling bin? No, because it now has sentimental value. I'm invested in the letter because of what the letter gives me the ability to feel. In the same way that this is one of my mother's scarves. And interestingly enough, it's purple and I'm wearing purple. But I don't have her scarf because I'm going to wear it, even though I probably could rock it. I'm not going to wear it. I have it because of sentimental value. I'm invested in this because it reminds me of my mother. But if I had 200 of her scarves, do I have a need to hold on to 200 of them? Or one is enough for the memory and the emotional response, and I can surrender, release, and let go the other 199 for someone else to rock them, for someone in the community or the Goodwill or whomever. I am able to let it go. But if I'm invested in whatever it is, in the same way that, have you ever, maybe been on an elevator and you get on the elevator and you're just minding your own business, And then you get off the elevator and you're walking down the street and you catch yourself. Why am I humming that song? Because you heard it on the elevator and subconsciously you picked it up. Our trauma and drama is playing subconsciously through everything until we consciously change it. In the same way that if, for those of us who are old enough to remember actual albums, records, LPs, wax, vinyl, right? In order for this vinyl to play music, the recording artist must be committed to carving, etching the song into the vinyl. And once it's etched, the vinyl will only play, I am miserable and I'm in pain and every day I suffer. I am miserable and I'm in pain and suffer every day. Until we're ready to change the record, it's going to continue to play. But we change the record by process. I choose. You know what? I don't like this song. It's not something I want to dance to. The song is old. It's whatever it is. I take the needle off. For those who remember this, I take the needle off. I pick the album up. I toss it out the window because I'm not going to listen to that song again, and nobody else needs to listen to it either. I put a different album on, I lower the needle, and I listen to There Is Only God and It Is Me. Only love showing up as me. Like, that's the new song. I hear and resonate with the truth of my being. How committed am I to the process of shifting, changing, evolving, and recognizing the truth of my being? So one, what language? Because the language we use indicates the thoughts we think. If I say the migraine is mine, you know, every spring when my allergies show up, are they mine? Are they mine in the same way that my children are my children or my grandchildren are my grandchildren? And even there, I could Sweet Honey in the Rock. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and the, right? They're born through you, but they belong not to you. So if Rumi and Sweet Honey in the Rock can say that your children don't even belong to you, then how dare I claim the migraine? How dare I claim sciatica? How dare I claim depression or addiction as mine? It is not mine. I experience it, but it's not mine. I don't have it. I experience it, but I don't have it. I have a car. I have an office. I have a cool shirt that Reverend Sonny wants. She's not going to get it though, but I might share it. But we possess, and it possesses us. But do I want to be owned by or possessed by addiction or trauma or depression or pain or dis-ease or whatever it is? No, I do not. I want to be possessed by the truth of my being, the infinite I am that I am ever becoming, God made flesh, love in human form, the divine spirit. There is only one mind, and that mind is God. There is only one life, and that life is God. And what it is, I must be, because it is all there is. How committed am I to that? Am I committed enough to make an album, to make a record that is grooved based upon that truth? How committed, how invested am I in that? So pause and let's breathe. Allow to come to mind whatever it is that in our past, we are not bound by precedent, but we are bound by principle. Doesn't matter what happened in the past. I fell and busted my head when I was 4. I still have a scar. But unless I continue to pick at it and keep it fresh and open and bleeding, it will heal because the body knows how to do this. But the scar is there. But do I always bring up, hey, Regina, look, you see the scar? I've got a scar. Rainbow, you see the scar? Wow, this hurts. But does it really hurt today, Ray? Well, I mean, I remember it hurting. I remember when I fell down the steps. But does it hurt today? Well, no, but I remember it. But a memory is simply a memory. It is not the relived experience. So that means everything in the past, we don't have to relive it with the same energetic level of investment. I was molested and raped. There was great pain. It caused great angst, PTSD, and all manner of stuff. I've been shot at and all manner of trauma and drama in my background in my life. I have been to well over 4,000 funerals, viewings, and wakes in my life. I'm 54 right now. 4,000 is more than enough. I've seen enough, felt enough, and there was great pain and angst and anxiety. And then I realized the process of. So if, as it says in Invictus, if I am the captain of my destiny, the captain of my ship, I get to choose. If God is this infinite power and presence that says, Ernest Holmes wrote in our Declaration of Principles, the We Believes, we believe number 5, if I'm not mistaken, we believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom or emancipation from every discord, not just some, from every discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. So this trauma, there is an ultimate goal of spirit to express itself fully in me, and therefore I must be free to be what God is as me. Love, joy, magnificence. The Bible says you cannot serve two masters. I cannot serve the master of depression and lack and scarcity and prosperity, abundance, health and well-being and freedom. One of these, I can't sing 2 songs out of my mouth at the same time. I have to choose a song. What song am I going to choose? Which master, which way of living and being am I going to choose? Because each of us gets to choose the truth of our being. So we pause and we breathe, because every day we are given the opportunity to ground and anchor and align ourselves with the vision of spirit as it lives, moves, and breathes and is being it as us. What is spirit's highest vision of itself in this incarnation? What does spirit, as Reverend Sunny and Reverend Rainbow indicated as service was beginning, type your intention into the box. What is your intention for your life? What is your vision and mission and purpose for how you show up on Monday morning? Because the moment we say, oh, dear God, it's Monday again, that becomes the tone that we set. That becomes the intention that we set. That becomes the new, it's Monday morning and your day is gonna be so miserable. You gotta go to work and you're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate it. Is that really what come on now. And we know that if you start singing that song, somebody else joins in. I hate my Mondays too. Now we got a chorus, we got a duet, and then we get oh man, everybody in the office, let's sing together. I hate my life, I hate my job, I hate everything because it's Monday. I hate We know that the body responds to the thoughts and feelings, because I can test my pulse and start thinking about something that I hate, someone, some vile thing from my past that hurt me, and I feel my pulse. I feel the heartbeat increase, which means my brain, my chemical system is now releasing all of those endorphins and adrenaline to fight, flight, or freeze. And I'm tense. And then my body responds and my blood pressure responds. And dude, all of this is happening in your mind. Your mind is causing your body to respond as if. And when we do that chronically, then the body starts to malfunction. So if we are going to release and let go, then let us start every day with, who do I choose to be today? What do I want my experience to be today? Do I want to experience more love and joy and harmony? Then what must I do? What must I be? See, faith is not something that we simply have, right? Now, I know we've talked about it. For linguistic purposes, we refer to it as, do you have enough faith? If you have the faith of a mustard seed, then you can. God doesn't have faith. God knows. God knows what it is. And so when we have faith, faith is really what has us, because God is us. Faith is the verb of how we demonstrate our knowingness, our belief. So each day, let's ask, what do I desire to experience today? And who must I be? And what must I do? And when things show up that run counter to that and want to block us, then begin the process of, how do we release this? First, be present with it. If it's showing up, then it's asking for. It's asking for. Can you see me, please? Hey, I'm fear. And I want you to, okay, come here, have a seat. What's up? What are you afraid of? I'm afraid of succeeding. Why? Because if we succeed, other people are going to want money, and they're going to want your time, and they're going to want. And what if we don't have enough to give? It's okay. I understand. But we are an infinite power, and we can never run out, right? God is infinite. It is eternal. We can never run out of love. We can never run out of joy. And if on the calendar something else is there, we can use our sacred no. We don't have to say yes to everything. Really? Thank you, Ray. You're welcome. And then fear dissolves and it goes about its business. But we have to be willing to sit with it and confront it and nurture it and talk to it in a loving way rather than deny it. Don't deny the pain. Don't deny the trauma. Don't deny it. Bring it in, give it a hug, and love it so that it may dissolve. Begin the process of what it really means to release and let go. In the book, Thoughts Are Things, as you learn, Ernest Holmes says, as you learn to release all of your burdens to the right action of God, right? As you learn to release all of your burdens to the right action of God, you will find that everything falls into its right and proper place. Everything. When we surrender and release our burdens to God, you let your problems slip away from you, realizing that there is a power greater than you are and a presence that is, he says, within you. So I say it's within you, it's around you, it is the very presence of that which you are, and it is ready, willing, and able to show up and guide you in all ways. Always. Then peace, security, fulfillment, all of this comes with ease, and there's a sense of joy and accomplishment. And we breathe. We breathe, recognizing that right here and right now, we are masters of this process. How could we be anything else? We are the divine showing up. And so we breathe. We simply breathe because I'm getting ready to anchor us in prayer and ground us in this thing called spiritual mind treatment, where we declare the truth that we know. So we breathe. And as I tend to say, we breathe with this recognition that we cannot breathe a breath for tomorrow. I can't breathe Monday's breath, nor can I breathe Saturday's breath. I can't rebreathe a breath from yesterday, and can't save a breath for a rainy day. I can only breathe this breath right here and right now. So simply this breathing is the very spiritual practice of being present. This breathing is also the reminder that I surrender and allow. I surrender and allow the body's intelligence to do what it does as it breathes. I don't say lungs expand and lungs contract. The body is intelligent enough to do this. But ultimately, I surrender and allow that which God is to breathe itself as it shows up in, through, and as this body. And what is true for me must be true for all. And so from this place of surrender and allowing and being present, I speak what I know, that there is only that infinite power and presence, the infinite I am that I am, ever becoming more and more, ever awakening more and more. That which God is ever expanding consciousness, and what it is, I must be. And so I simply allow that expansiveness to be through in and as all that I am. God in me, as me, is me, as Ernest Holmes said. And so from this place, I know that I and each person all are masters of releasing what no longer serves and releasing love and light and joy into the world. The infinite practice of the law of circulation, where we are not only participating in the flow, but we are showing up as the very flow itself. There is no separation between us and God, the practice and the principle. There is only one. And so I anchor and ground and speak this with gratitude, knowing that right here and right now, what needs to be let go is right now let go. And what needs to be shared and expressed into the world is shared and expressed into the world, because that which spirit, open at the top, we are, that which spirit is releasing into each and every being more and more of itself through our awareness, through the conscious awareness of, because there is no more of God that we can be. We're all of it. And I know this, but I allow my awareness to become more and more aligned with God, more and more aligned with truth, more and more aligned with the very power and principle of the infinite and eternal. And from this place, in gratitude, I surrender it into the law that always says yes and returns unto me my mental equivalent with laser-like precision and mathematical and scientific accuracy. The law says yes. And knowing that what exists in the mind of God is already fully formed and fully functioning, I know that this treatment is not they are not the words of Raymont. They are the words of the infinite I am, the infinite spirit, Christ consciousness, Buddha nature, all that is, speaking truth about itself, through itself, back unto itself. It is already answered prayer. It is already done. And together, each person in this beloved community now declares this truth by saying, and so it is.
And so it is, yes. Let's give some big love to Reverend Raymont. Woohoo! Thank you so much for that inspiring message. And I say, if you weren't awake yet, you are now. He woke us up today. That's right.